Gentlemen, the use of unverified videos and the non-adherence to the basic tenets of journalism have combined to land an international broadcaster, CNN, in trouble. This station has been caught in the web of fake news and disinformation after it relied heavily on videos it took from social media for a supposed exclusive investigation on the incident at the Lekki Toll Gate on October 20. The station was also found to be inconsistent after tweeting without a shred of evidence from its verified handle on October 23rd that soldiers killed 38 people. So that soldiers killed 38 peaceful protesters at the Lekki Toll Gate on October 20th. The same station now said only one person was killed after a month-long investigation. What an embarrassment. It is baffling that an organization like the CNN will rely on unauthorized videos to carry out an investigation. More worrisome is that an international broadcaster like CNN will switch casualty figures so casually without a credible source. This is why we have written a letter to CNN asking it to use its own internal mechanism to probe its investigation. We have received an acknowledgement of our letter saying the letter has been referred to CNN's editorial team. We await the outcome of their probe, but that's without prejudice to whatever we may decide to do as a government. We will not sit back and allow any news organization, local or foreign, to set Nigeria on fire with irresponsible and unprofessional reporting. CNN did not have a reporter or cameraman at the Lekki Toll Gate on the night in question, yet it emphatically reported a hoax story. Conversely, the BBC that had a reporter and an editor on ground reported that soldiers shot into the air, not at protesters. I would rather believe the person on the ground than the one who is thousands of kilometers away. Since we sent our letter, CNN has been grasping at straws in desperation to justify its inaccurate and unbalanced investigation. But in the process, it is sinking more and more into professional infamy. Yesterday, November 26th, in the clearest indication yet of its confusion over the Lekki Toll Gate incident, CNN tried to clarify its tweet for October 23rd by saying it never attributed the death toll of 38 to Amnesty International, and that the tweet also did not make it clear that the death toll was for protests across the country. Commentators on the tweet tried to redirect CNN to the issue, which is its tweet of October 23rd, in which it said, and I quote, "At least 38 people were killed in Nigeria on Tuesday, October 20th, when the military opened fire on peaceful protesters." This is very unambiguous, and CNN is exhibiting panic by seeking to clarify its tweet some 35 days later. Instead of engaging in such panic, CNN should come clean by admitting that it goofed badly on the Lekki Toll Gate incident. But the big lesson to draw from CNN's faux pas is that it magnifies the failure or inadequacy of our own broadcast organizations. In the wake of our spat with CNN, people were asking, why didn't our own broadcast stations take the lead in reporting the incident at Lekki? Why didn't they take the lead in presenting an authentic narrative? Why must we allow the foreign broadcast stations, some of which didn't even have correspondents on ground, to dictate the pace or the narrative, thus misleading the world? These are questions begging for answers. And I think for Bonn, this must form part of their review of the coverage of the whole crisis. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak on the role of the security agencies during and after the NSAS protest. The federal government commends the security agencies for their professionalism and their restraint, which helped to save many lives. Even in the face of attacks and provocation, the security agencies, in particular the police and soldiers, acted within their rules of engagement. The reporting of the NSAS protest has been skewed against the security agencies. While most reports have become fixated on the so-called massacre at the Lekki Toll Gate, only a few have highlighted the attacks and killings on security agents, as well as the destruction of public and private property. This is selective perception, and it is condemnable. For the records, 6 soldiers and 37 policemen were killed all over the country during the crisis. Also, 196 policemen were injured. 164 police vehicles were destroyed, and 134 police stations burned down. The killing of the policemen was particularly gruesome and savage. Yet, human rights organizations and the media have not given this the attention it deserves. Rather, they have remained fixated on the so-called massacre. A massacre we describe as bloodless and bodiless. It seems human rights do not matter for men and women in uniform. This is unfortunate and must be corrected. Please note that the violence also left 57 civilians dead, 269 private corporate facilities burnt, looted, or vandalized, 243 government facilities burnt or vandalized, and 81 government houses, and 81 government warehouses looted. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, and in accordance with the directive from Mr. President, ministers have since gone back to their respective states to meet with stakeholders in the wake of the NSAS protest and its aftermath. A federal government delegation has also visited the various zones to consult with stakeholders. There's no doubt that the outcome of these consultations will feed into an overall review of the whole crisis by the federal government.